On a date not specified in the released report, officers responded to the lobby of a local restaurant after a disturbance call involving alleged inappropriate touching and escalating online harassment tied to a viral video.
These little girls have continued to incite a mob, and I've been harassed all day. Not only did they took it down from St. George Post and her Facebook, but now she put it on Instagram, and now she put it on TikTok.
Okay.
I have been to work for the state, and if I have to watch her cheeks hanging out again, I will call CPS.
Do it.
So I will.
Yeah, go for it right now.
She's over 18.
She is 19 years old.
Her butt cheeks. You don't get to touch her.
You don't get to touch her.
We're all sitting over there.
You don't get to touch her. Then you can't come up and talk to her. You do not get to touch her.
Really?
We would love for you to call the police. Go ahead and call the police.
Why are you? So why are you?
So I turn notifications off and everything, but they are trying to reach out to they're inciting someone that reaches out for personal information to people to get their personal information,
okay.
Or someone that is known to like hunt people down.
Okay.
In this particular situation, I told them who I was because not only were there minors involved that were all seated around me, but my son was present as well. And so that's the only reason why I was like, listen, charges can like happen. You're hanging out, your private parts are hanging out in private in front of minors. That's not something that you should take lightly, like cover up. But it doesn't give them the right to disseminate my information publicly like that and to try to harass me to the extent that I've been having it. Accuse me of harassment without the facts, like at some point something needs to be done, it needs to be stopped. And so,
Okay.
I don't...
The video she posted has currently reached 517,000 views.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just
And-
kind of
and
love,
people
it's by
are-
far her most viewed video. It just kind of...
And it's because she's putting me out there as like a predator.
Karen, just...
Yeah.
her
The hard part is, even if it's edited and made it deleted, obviously you could be looking at slander if it's not completely true, but the fact that you did touch her skirt, she can claim, if she wants, she can claim battery. I just don't understand,
he
I don't
got
understand why you
charged.
went up and touched her.
I didn't touch her as a person. Like
I mean, you confronted,
I
but you see how that looks, right?
I got a standing ovation from everyone that was seating behind me.
That's totally
because
beside the point.
It's protecting a kid by covering their private parts.
Correct, but that's not your job to do.
Well, they weren't covering up, and
Call us. That's what I was trying to tell you.
I was trying to. You could see me on the video
You
trying
told
to
me that
dial
it
the
would
phone.
take too long for us to get there, so you didn't.
No, that's what but I was trying to dial you guys, but because they had everyone storming in, and you could see how they were being
They thought she was battered. That's
no,
her claim.
That's her claim. That's her claim.
That's her claim. And all she knows is somebody grabbed her from behind.
No, because I told her that her parts were hanging out. And then when nothing was being done and all the little kids behind me were just staring, that's when I proceeded to cover. And I was trying to dial. I mean, you see me on the video where I have my phone in hand and I'm trying to dial, but I couldn't even dial.
I can understand that things got blown out of proportion, and I can understand your standpoint from it. But I guess, what do you want me to do?
Well, the posts need to come down and they need to
That's freedom of
stop.
speech. There's no crime.
Not when they
They can say whatever they want.
No, but I mean, they're reaching me. All their little friends.
Have you told them to stop talking to you?
No, because
Try that.
No, because then that is me instigating them.
But that's the only way that they can be harassing you. If you tell them to not contact you and then they contact you, then that's criminal.
Well,
If you don't say anything and you're engaging in it, then this is just a civil banter that the unfortunate thing is you're held to a little bit higher standard than that.
Oh, but then if I engage in a conversation, then that makes it appear like
You don't have to.
I am.
I'm just telling you, I can't do much. Legally, there is no... I can't tell them to stop posting anything.
So what would be
It's
your
freedom of
best
speech.
advice for her to respond? Should she come up with a drafted response of, please do not contact me any further?
That's what I tell everybody that has any claims for any type of electronic communication harassment. If you tell them to stop contacting you, then I can reach out to each one individually and tell them they can't contact you. It doesn't mean they have to put their videos down. But as far as legal, I know where you're coming from, but legally, I can't, and I would be unconstitutionally removing those videos.
See, the problem is that people, they're under the perception that I, like, for no reason approached her. I just touched her inappropriately, right?
For sure.
And if I was a mom and my daughter came and told me those circumstances, I would be pissed and I would be contacting you, right? But because they haven't done that, they're not willing to, you know, and I haven't, like, addressed it. I haven't approached it. I haven't said anything. I've been pretty silent.
That's the best way to approach it, because everything blows over. The more you incite it, the more it's gonna get views. It's gonna blow up. Then the problem you're gonna run into is if she comes to the department because of this and she decides that she wants to go battery against you, it's gonna be her word versus yours, and your word versus hers for the lewdness. And I'm going to end up submitting charges for both of you to an attorney for them to decide. I mean, each of you could equally be investigated right now. Mm-hmm. And the classification for disorderly conduct for you touching her is nothing but battery is a class A.
Well, I talked to one of the attorneys, and they're like, I talked to my boss, and she was like, if she actually was showing her body parts and we can interview that 10-year-old, she's going to get charged.
The other thing we have to look at, right, is, okay, 10-year-old witness comes forward. Dad comes forward, everybody in that place comes forward, and then her group comes forward and says, nope, this is the clothing, this is what she saw, this is the documentation, these are the pictures that they actually have, and it shows that it wasn't right on their end, tampered or not. Now what? And you're telling me that she was not wearing any underwear.
As we could see, yeah, exactly, we could see pubic hair, skin, and everything, like, honestly.
Are you seeing the opening? Like, are you seeing actual...
Yes, because we were actually seated and she was standing up and she was at a higher.
So you were under her.
Due to the shortness of her skirt, it was like this, and you could see everything open. And that's why I was like, so I stood behind her and I was like, go like this with my clothing, and I was like, you know, you should probably cover up. And then at that point, she turned and she was like that, and I was like, oh my God. And that's when the dad was like, cover up, you know, and then the mob rush of kids started coming in, and that's at that point where I was like, oh my God, like, you need to cover up. And that's when I pulled her skirt down to cover up, because instead of like covering up and backing up and saying, okay, is my skirt down? No, she proceeded to like lift her arms and move with her friends, and it kept going further up and further up. And that's why I was like, oh my God, somebody like cover it up. And as you can see, they were mob rushing at me as I was trying to stand behind her to cover her butt. The issue that I have is that if they continue to hit somebody to try to hunt me down, then that's more than just putting the story out there. That's more than just posting a video and letting people decide for themselves, right? Now they are trying to get somebody to come and hunt me down and find me to put my personal information out there.
Yeah. Your best legal defense is to reach out to them and say, do not contact me. The police have been notified. If you reach out to me again, that will be a crime. And it's clear.
Okay.
And if they continue to message you, they can say, hello. They could say, ha ha, Class B misdemeanor. What's your biggest concern then? You're gonna lose your job?
No, my biggest concern is someone's gonna end up at my front door.
If something happens that is going to be unconstitutional or illegal, somebody does show up at your house, something weird happens, please call us. We will come out there. We can address that immediately. We can figure out why they're there, and if they're there because of the video, then we can start digging into different things, right? If that's the reason. But now, if I investigate this, it's most likely going to come onto you as well.
Yeah, no.
And I don't want that to happen for either of you. I don't want you to be exploited in the internet by any means. I don't want anybody to have to go through that.
Yeah, but I'm an adult, you know what I mean? And if people were to hear my side, it would take a totally different.
So make a.
You think that?
So repost your own. You have the right to it, and say here's the second half of the story, and find your own witnesses, and you can do that, right? The same that you can. It's just, is it worth it to you?
No.
Not sure.
No, because
And I promise this fizzles out.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for listening to us and giving us interaction.
I just wanted to know, like, if I did happen to press charges, what would happen next?
If you want to press charges, then I'd gather a witness statement from you as to what would happen. If you have any witnesses that were there that you could give me their information so I can call them and get their accounts, and then Essentially, because I wasn't there, the video that we have, the claims that she had, I would submit a complaint request for what seems like battery if she actually touched your butt.
Right, okay.
And I'm just kind of standing there in shock. So I'm like, here's this woman I don't know who just came up and touched my bare butt. Like, I have no clue who this is. And like, not even the physical side of things, but mentally, like, I'm struggling so much with weight problems. And for her to come up and do that and make me feel even more insecure in my own body is outrageous to me. So she came up, did that, and then she touches me, or she does that, and then she says, you're underage, you should probably hide that. If you think I'm underage, why are you touching a minor at all? Especially if you think I don't have underwear on.
Yeah, the logic wasn't there.
No.
For me.
No.
That's why I was wondering when you mentioned that you thought she might be drinking, I thought there's a judgment issue maybe going on too.
Right.
And then she came back up a second time after Avery came up. Our other friend Avery, fun fact, same name, she was standing right next to her. And the second time she came up, she touched both their hips and squeezed them.
Like pinched us.
And said she was going to call Child Protective Services if she saw
And then
her
the
butt
rest
cheeks.
was on video.
I saw the video. I just had to figure out what was actually happening. Yeah. And there was mention of where she was saying, I don't want to, in the video she said, I don't want to see your cheeks, right?
Yeah, but yeah.
And even if it was a little bit of, let's say, butt exposed, right? You're not talking your female genitalia exposed, correct?
I had
So-
shorts and underwear on.
And so she's also claiming that they couldn't have been on because she saw, like I said. That's why I asked those questions, just to see.
She has a video of her going like this.
I got that video, and that's why, so I can confirm that too. I'm just checking that you were wearing underwear, you were wearing shorts.
I'm in contact with the boss, and I asked her before any of this was happening if I could have the footage, and
She just requested that I go ask.
Huh?
Did she request that
Well,
I
she
ask?
said, so she asked her husband to send it to her, and apparently he was working without her or something, and they both decided to just send it into you guys instead, and like you guys take it over, but I
They haven't
don't
done
think they've
it.
sent it in
They would
yet.
need like an incident number, which I can give. What did she say exactly before? Because the video doesn't. It's bits and pieces. But did she identify who she was?
She just said, I work for this state, and pulled out an ID and it just said her name.
But none of
So
us
she
saw
gave
her
you
name
that.
until later.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't find it until we posted it on
And she was like, I work for this state, you guys are all done. Like, I'm calling the cops and CPS. Like, you guys are toast. And we're like, toast for what?
Right. So now I kind of feel like I got both sides.
I wanted to explain where if you've been to Shakira, so you walk in the main door, and then there's like a little lobby, and then you walk in the restaurant doors.
Yep.
And then there's that floor that has the fish that looks like
Yep.
it's from you. So we went in, we're waiting for our table, put our name on the list, there was tons of people there. We walked out of that first door, and there's a bench on the side, like this, and we were sitting on the bench, just watching people go in and out of the restaurant.
Okay, so you're actually outside. Is what you're saying.
I wasn't outside, I was in the lobby between the first door and the second door.
Okay.
And I'm just watching. I watched the girl walk in front of me. We made the comment, man, her skirt is short. All of the girls' skirts were short. And I couldn't identify this woman who did this.
Okay.
Because I'm sitting this way, and there's a plant right here. I can see the girl, and she comes up in the other set of doors behind the plant, takes her skirt, goes like this, and pulls and sets back down. So all I saw was two sets of hands
Gotcha.
tugging the skirt down. Does
Okay.
that make sense?
Yeah.
After listening to everything Tortelli about everything going on, I've talked to Sakura. I got some of their video. I've got the TikToks. I think most everybody in the city has that TikTok. And then we've got your statement, her statement. So I'll try to make it as unbiased and fair as I can, right? So I had my concerns from the get-go, and I'm going to just be straight up with you because this is kind of where we're at. I have some questions and some statements, but I'm going to advise you of your rights because of the severity of what the claims were. Okay.
Right.
Girl has sent me a video of her twirling in that skirt, photos of the skirt. She was wearing underwear and shorts underneath her underwear.
She was not wearing, I don't know when that video was taken or
Same
if it
night,
was
same
in,
outfit.
Right, of course, but I mean, was it at the time when everything was exposed? Probably not.
You're telling
Because
me
she wasn't
you saw,
twirling in.
You're telling me you saw her
there.
skin.
You could see, yes, you could actually see like the whole.
So in your video, in all the videos and all of your statements in those videos, and to her and through messages, saw cheeks. I shouldn't have to see your ass cheeks. So why you say that instead of I shouldn't have to see your vagina? That'd be a very much different thing to say.
Do you want me to put out there into the whole world that I saw her?
Now, Typically with something like this where I don't have video, if I didn't have video footage, it'd probably be going a different route with this because there's video footage and because of the claims made and I have to protect victims. Today you're going to be placed under arrest for battery. Okay? So that's the unfortunate side of all this.
You're arresting me?
Right now you are under arrest, okay? So you'll just face my sergeant and you put your hands behind your back.
Okay.
Don't reach in your purse, please.
No, I was just trying to put that.
Just follow those instructions.
And just relax your hands.
Do you have a vehicle here?
Yeah, I do.
Is somebody here with you?
No.
Okay, is there somebody we need to call to come get your car?
I'm sorry, what?
Is there somebody we can call for you to have them come pick up your vehicle?
Yeah.
Okay.
That way they won't snitch on you. I know it's unfortunate, Ida, but what should I do?
Well, I
These
mean,
are the facts of the
honestly,
case.
I was honestly thinking she was a minor, and she should probably keep it covered because of the kids that were.
But also a minor to minor is a lot different than an adult to a minor. It'd be worse if she was an adult, no? Okay. You just walk this way, I don't want you to follow. These ones work so I don't have to reach over, you just slide in with backwards is the easiest.
Oh, I actually can get in.
Okay, watch your hands.
Hi guys, Ruben here and welcome back. Currently certified police officer with 30 years of experience, a former SWAT operator, former motorman, and currently the lead instructor and training coordinator for my agency. So what we just watched here is what we can call a cautionary tale about what happens when you decide to take the law into your own hands. So this is a case where the person who initially made the call to police wound up in the backseat of the police car simply as a result of their own misguided actions. This all kicks off with a woman who's in a restaurant and she takes offense to the way that a young woman is dressed. So in her opinion, the young woman's skirt is so short that it's indecent. So now if the story would have stopped there and she had called the police to report a crime, she would have simply been listed as a witness and that would have been the end of it. But that's not what happened here and that's not what she did. So instead, the subject took on the role of a vigilante Karen. She confronted the victim and, by the victim's account, put her hands up her skirt, touched her butt, and then pulled the skirt down. The subject then tried to use her job as a paralegal for the Child Protective Services Division as a tool of intimidation, threatening to call CPS on the young lady, which is ironic when you learn later on that she initially thought that the young woman was a minor herself. So her statement on video, "I happen to work for the state," shows she was just trying to use her position to justify her actions. So if the subject truly thought that the attire that the young lady was wearing at the time was that offensive, first thing she should have done was try to just talk it out with the restaurant management. Now, if she really thought that a crime, for example, something like indecent exposure was happening, she should have definitely called the police. You don't have the right to put your hands on someone else or to touch someone else without their consent. And her excuse that the police would have taken too long is not and will never be a legal defense for committing a battery. So what makes this a sexual battery charge is another important legal point. So as the officer explained, the crime doesn't require skin-to-skin contact. So in many states, for example Utah, where this occurred, the unwanted touching of someone's clothing over an intimate body part is enough to meet the elements of the offense. Right? So the subject admitted to pulling the skirt, and the victim and 6 other witnesses also confirmed the unwanted touching. So your job title doesn't give you extra rights to enforce your will on others. All right? The subject used her position with the state not to protect, but to intimidate, and to justify a physical confrontation with someone else over their clothing choices. So it's a classic case of a misguided and entitled individual trying to impose their personal standards on someone else, and in the process, committing a crime. So at the end, after a full investigation with conflicting stories, witness statements, and video evidence, the subject was arrested and she was charged with sexual battery. So this was a case study basically in entitlement and in consequences. So what are your thoughts on this? Let me know down in the comments section below. If you learned something from this breakdown, please hit that like button, subscribe for more, and ring that notification bell so you know exactly when we're uploading new content for you. As always, you guys, thank you all so much for your time, and I'll see you all on the next one. Take care.
She was charged with battery, but but remains innocent until proven guilty. YouTube thinks you'd love the videos on the screen now. See you there.
124 here. We miscalculated. We might need another vehicle. Can you send them over, patrol? Copy that. We have a neighbor calling. 8482. We're at Chicago Avenue. We need a rescue team. Over. Copy that. We have to change over to channel